What's up, family? What's up with all the real ones, yo? And I want to say I appreciate y'all for tapping into the video, But let's get straight into the topic today, yo. Your life, yo, wherever you are and whatever phase you are in your life, yo, just know that it's either teaching you something or shaping you to become better at life, yo. Everybody wants to be good or to find this drive as something that's best in the world that's happens when you are living life. But reality, family, your life, yo, is gonna be based on how you treat yourself and how you treat the world around you, family. It gets to a stage where you know that everything around you is a test, yo, and you're trying to make the right decision, So do that. Do what's right, family. Do what's gonna help you in the long run, y'all. If you are looking for things, or you're trying to gain something, trying to gain knowledge, trying to gain awareness, y'all, trust yourself, but trust that the universe is gonna make a way for you to receive that somehow. Because you wouldn't even be thinking that way, y'all, if the universe didn't, lead you on the right path, y'all. You're either gonna live bound to the physical world or bound to the spiritual world. And when you follow the spiritual world, y'all, that's when the universe opens up to you and shows you and grants you things that you have never seen or knew about, because you're walking by faith now, y'all. You're not walking by what someone has taught you. You're walking by what you feel, what you see, and what you know is to be existing, But your life will be incredible, though. You may struggle and endure a lot of hardships in your life. That's normal. But you will have a good life once you live that way. Because God is trying to see if you are actually what you say you are. You may say you're a child of God, but are you really a child of God, y'all? Are you trying to do what Jesus can't do no more, y'all? I'm not telling you to lead by example or help the other people in the world. No, I'm telling you to walk with silence, walk with truth behind your back, y'all. And don't break like a pencil for nobody, y'all. If they don't fuck with you or they don't get the message, y'all, let them scatter. But you came down here for a reason. I can't tell you what's your reason, but I'm going to tell you what my reason is, family. To get on the camera and speak things that are going to heal your soul. Your ego might go against me, or it might disagree with some things. But the soul knows everything. And that's why the soul comes back to these videos, because the soul feels that this is the only thing that matters in a fucking world where they are teaching you how to be distracted, yo. If you are distracted or you are being entertained, your ego loves that, because it feels like wasting time gives you, a reason to stay comfortable. So when you are in that comfort, y'all, all you care about is what's gonna satisfy you in that moment. That's why you are entertained. But your soul, there's times in your life where you may not want to be entertained. You want to know what's actually going on in this fucking world. You want to know how you can be better. You want to level up, right? That's your soul's, thanking for you. Know the difference between the two, family, because the soul wants information. It wants progression. It wants to become better. It doesn't want to be small or stuck. It wants to be the whole fucking containment, But when you are acting out of the ego, family, the ego may want to control you, want to keep you stuck, may want to keep you in fear. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying know the two. Because when you know the two, y'all, and you know how to combine them as one powerhouse, y'all, you see changes in your reality, family. Because you're not going off of your ego no more, or you're not just going off of your spirit. You're trusting the process. You're leaving what you can't do up to God, so He can judge. So he can justify everything that's going on in your life, y'all, and make it what it needs to be for you. But back to what I was saying, though, family. When you have this light, when you have this, remarkable presence about yourself, y'all, money doesn't give you, if you want to say high authority in the spiritual realms, because money is only something that is in this physical existence, y'all. With matter, money comes, because money's something that you grab onto. That's physical. But your rank and your energy and your authority goes up based on how much you love yourself, how much you enter the world within. So if you want to be someone big in the spiritual world, yo, you gotta focus on mastering yourself. You gotta go within yourself. You gotta live in the moment but also living knowing that everything happens when I start to change. You know, family? But yes, family, indeed you will live a good life. Especially if you have knowledge on self now and you are young. Yes, you will live a good life, but you must take that information seriously. You must use it. You must not waste everything that was given to you, y'all. You know, remember, pressure turns coal into a diamond, right? You know, you can look at yourself like you're being pressurized by people around you. Things that may not be going your way, or just things that are trying to keep you at war, right? That's what you can call, you know, obstacles or tests. But regardless, they shape you, they make you, and they make you feel like nothing could fuck with you because, you know, you feel too good within, y'all. You know, the life force energy that we all talk about, that rises up like a snake within your spine, called the Kundalini. This is a spiritual ancient teaching, y'all. So this is bigger than just procreation. This is different than just fucking a girl and leaving her like that, y'all, because, you know, they only told us the physical side of the world, y'all. They didn't tell us about how deep this shit goes spiritually as well, y'all. You know, when you mate with someone, y'all, that's considered your wife or your husband because you combined your essence with theirs. From a physical point of view, you don't see it like that because you just see two vessels with consciousness getting active. But from a spiritual point of view, y'all, your spirit is entangled with theirs. That's what I'm telling you. Make the right decisions, yo. What you do with your life, yo. Don't just fuck around with anybody because if they're not truly for you, if they don't love you, if they don't fuck with you, if they're not trying to rise in a vibration like you, they're only gonna push you back into hell with them. This is why this video is important, because you want to know that though God is putting you on the right, you know, trail for you to walk on, you must make the right decisions, family. You will always have temptation to walk in your life. You will always have decisions that you may not know what's best for you at the moment, but you know deep down inside the right thing to do. Act on that, family. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust your instincts. Know that the universe has a way for all of us somehow, some way, because we're still here right now, and we have this information that's backing us up. You know. Don't wait for the right time or the right day. Instead, live in the moment and exist and see what it is that you are learning from today, y'all. Because every day is teaching you something. Whether it's teaching you how to hold your rage back, whether it's teaching you how to be calmer, or if it's teaching you how to endure pain, you know, family? But just think about that, family. Regardless, though, whether you go through something or not, you will feel amazing about yourself. Once you take this journey more seriously, because you're not going to be worrying about people no more like how you used to be. You look at them like, yes, they have their mission like mine, so they must focus and I must focus. But you want to make the right decisions, family. You know, you don't want to waste time. Time is the most valuable thing on this world, y'all, for all of us. We all have a limited amount of time. We don't know when our time's going to end. And as much as I may seem like I'm doing too much as I'm telling you this shit is real life, yo. You know, regardless, I could be talking about something that don't make sense or you don't fuck with right now because you don't understand it, but or you may be watching all those fucking TV shows, distracting yourself with games, fucking things that are warping your brain, right, family? This is the one thing you cannot run away from. And that's why many people will like this channel or they will not, because you either like the facts that I'm giving you so because you know that truth is something that you stand for, or the truth is burning you like fire from a dragon and it's simply too hot for you to digest it, so you fall away. But think about that regardless, chosen one. You know, when I speak this truth, yo, and I give y'all it firmly, you know, prestigiously, and just, you know, truthfully, yo, it can fuck you up from the inside, yo, because your inner world wasn't taught this. And when your inner world dissects something, y'all, that's what reprograms your subconsciousness into believing something else. But this was the video, though, family. You know, I hope that you learn something and you walk by faith, not always by what you see, because you walk by faith every day, yo. You work on your spirit. You can't see your spirit, but you see your body, so you know your spirit exists because it's emulating the body. That you're the reason why your body's in control, because your spirit is acting on the physical body, yo. You know, my body that you see in front of me, this copper complexion right here, the flesh, this is my body. My soul and my spirit are within it. You know, that glow that radiates like the sun when the light's shining on me, that's my spirit. That has been worked on so much that it has no other way but to show itself on the outside looking in, because I do the internal work, yo. I care about my spirit. I love myself enough, because self-love is the only thing that's gonna get you to ascend in this world, yo. That's how you break reincarnation. You break it by by ascending and not descending, which means you self-love yourself, yo. You know that only you are your savior. Only you have the key to access and to turn it, you know. And people are like a pit stop, yo. Some people are meant to stay in your life, some are not. But regardless, you help the ones that need help or that want it. And if they don't want help, you wish them the best on their journey, because it's not about arguing or about war or about conflict or about obsession. It's about creation and accepting what creation is, y'all. Knowing that I'm gonna treat everything the way I want to be treated, because it's still part of God's creation. The most divine, or the universe that has made everything in one, is a reflection of myself. So if I disrespect somebody else, or I fuck with somebody else, or I fight at them, nag at them, pinch, poke, talk, or worry, I'm sending that energy to another version of myself, because the universe is in them like it's in me. And now that I know that, yo, that's why I move differently. That's why I treat myself with prestige. That's why I love myself with grace. And I try to heal your soul, man. You know, the ego has been through pain, and the ego wanted things that it can't have, yes. But the soul accepts what is. The soul knows that you are light already. The soul knows that all you gotta do is turn up the brightness. And it won't be so hard for you to get everything you want, family. But think about that, chosen one. I hope that helped you with this video, but I love y'all, man. Remember, these are words of admiration and gestures of holiness. So, you know, as you get out this video, know that this shit is real and this shit is true to your soul. So while, you know, others are entertaining the ego version of you, the one that laughs, giggles, and likes to enjoy the earthly part of the fucking world, I'm telling y'all, space, universal, history on you, your soul, and, you know, the biological structure of your avatar, y'all, and the way you function, how light you can become, how pure you can be, how light you can feel, you know. I'm telling y'all shit that is truth, backed up by truth, because I live in it. And I'm giving y'all something that you can't run away from, but something that will also help you. But I love y'all, family. That's how much passion that I spit with this information, because it's truth, man, in the making. And truth can hurt, but it can also awaken. But I love y'all, family. I say.